Hey guys, NW Reverend 96 here with another video. As you know, video games go back a long way, and we've just entered the 9th generation, which is the PS5 and the Xbox One. And I thought it'd be fun to maybe take a look back at the previous 8 generations, maybe rank them. And full disclosure, this will be my opinion. If you don't agree, that's fine, you can make your own list. Just don't come after me and threaten me or anything or like that, because I know some of my opinions might be unpopular. But anyway, gameplay footage in the background is of Neverwinter Nights. I just figured I'd put something on just so you guys wouldn't have to look at my face the whole time while I was talking, essentially a talking head. Anyway, for me, number 8, and this would be pretty obvious, would be the first generation, which would include the, I would say, the Magnavox Odyssey and your Palm consoles. I rank it number 8 because I've never actually experienced it. I've never played Magnavox Odyssey or a Palm console. So, you know, short but sweet there. And then number 7, I would say the second generation, which was your Atari 2600 and I'd say 5200, and also your ColecoVision and Intellivision. I did have some experience with it. Full disclosure, I'm turning 40 this year, so I was a child of the 80s. So I did have an Atari 2600. And you know, it pioneered a lot for video games. I give it all the respect, but obviously it hasn't aged that well. And then number, what are we on, 6? Yeah, number 6. Here's the controversial pick. For me, this is going to be the 5th generation, which is your Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, and Sega Saturn. And at the time when everything came out, first of all, I was a Nintendo 64 kid, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the games. They were a lot of fun, but the problem is they didn't age very well. That era of 3D, they hadn't quite gotten there yet, so things would look a lot better later on. I mean, like I said, the games were fun. You know, like your Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy VII. Like I said, it's not quite as appealing to me, that form of 3D, so that's why I rank it so low. It's not because of the games themselves, it's just how it aged. And then we are on 5, I'm gonna say is the following generation, the 6th generation. Now this is your PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube, and this really improved on the 3D. Yeah, games had more detail. You could do a lot more. Games were coming out on DVDs, so you could store more. The adventures were getting bigger. So many good games from this time period. You got your Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Resident Evil 4, Metroid Prime. I'm a huge fan of the GameCube, so I'm gonna say like Paper Mario, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Your Zelda games on your GameCube. Plus, like I said, the PS2 had God of War and Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. So many good games. And, of course, obviously Halo for the Xbox. I didn't have an Xbox, but I did play it a lot, so I had a lot of experience with it. And then at number 4, I'm going to say is the generation we just had, the 8th generation. Basically, to me, it wasn't a huge leap forward from the 7th generation in terms of graphics and gameplay. A lot of good games came out this last generation. Some amazing games like Red Dead Redemption 2, Witcher 3, just to name a few. Dragon Age Inquisition, games I enjoyed, but But to me, it didn't seem like a leap enough forward to justify coming out with a new console generation. And speaking of leaps forward, by the way, I'm playing very poorly right now with my game. It's hard to talk and concentrate. But speaking of leaps forward, this generation, it kind of upset me that they kind of did a midway upgrade with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. It's the first generation that's done it. And also, I don't own a PS5 or an Xbox Series X yet. Half because I'm wondering if they're going to come out with a Pro Edition of those later down the line, and I might just wait for that. Although Resident Evil 8's coming out, and I kind of want to get that. But anyway, that's my take on the 4th generation, or number 4, the 8th generation. Excuse me. Coming in at number 3 is going to be the 3rd generation. That's your Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Master System, Atari 7800. I was kind of a latecomer to the NES. I got mine in like 1989, so I didn't have it when it first came out, but NES is one of my favorite consoles of all time. It's really the only console I have from that generation that I actually played a lot of. But that just shows the power of the NES, because so many great games, you know, and so many great franchises started, like your Zeldas, your Castlevanias, your Mario, obviously, Metroid, the list goes on. So yeah, 3rd generation is definitely one I'm most nostalgic for and I like to collect for. And coming in at number 2 is the 7th generation, and that's your Xbox 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii, and I'm kind of want to say the Wii U might be kind of in that generation. But yeah, I really enjoyed this generation a lot. Like I said, a lot of great games came out for it that I really liked. Like you got the start of the Mass Effect series, the first Red Dead Redemption, which I actually like better than the second one. Yeah, and a huge leap actually from the 6th generation, which was like I said, the PS2 and the GameCube. But yeah, a big leap, and a lot of emphasis on online gaming for this one here. Yeah, and Call of Duty games, I enjoyed some of those, but I mean, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, but yeah, it's just for the people who like those games, you know. Yeah, definitely the 7th generation, I think, I would say, for me, is number 2, which leaves one that I haven't mentioned yet. And people who know me, this is pretty obvious, but number 1 is going to be the 4th generation. That includes the Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx-16, and my favorite game console of all time, the Super Nintendo. My favorite game of all time is Super Metroid. Plus, you had my favorite Zelda, which was Link to the Past. A lot of people say Ocarina of Time, but I like Link to the Past better. And of course, Mario World, and the list goes on. This is the one I'd say I'm probably even more nostalgic for than the 3rd generation. But yeah, and I'm starting to collect Sega Genesis games too. I was a hardcore Nintendo fanboy when I was in grade school. I used to get on fights with some of the kids on the bus. So yeah, good memories and some of the best games ever. And I almost forgot Final Fantasy 6/3 Chrono Trigger. The role-playing games are unbeatable. But for me, just Super Metroid. Sorry, Super Metroid, favorite game of all time, and it was on the 4th generation, so I gotta go with the 4th generation. And that is my list. This is the first time I've actually done a video voiceover of with a video game playing in the background, so I hope it comes out okay, and I apologize if I seem like I'm rambling, but anyway, I'm hoping to do maybe some more of these, and now I can actually do some more game reviews. So hopefully I'll have a new video up pretty soon. In the meantime, everybody be safe, take care of each other out there, and I will see you in later videos.